Don't think that there's one perfect way that you have to do things, because when you think like that, then you start punishing yourself for not doing certain things. You almost live like you're walking on eggshells when you're trying to be perfect. Then you start to get down on yourself and you start questioning the recovery. Then you start asking yourself, man, what did I do wrong this time? Oh man, what could I have done better? And it's okay to ask those things, but when we put too much weight on doing things the perfect way, we're pretty much set up to fail. Hey guys, how's it going? Miguel here from CFS Recovery. Today's topic is how perfectionism isn't so perfect after all. Now, when we think of perfectionism, we think of someone who always wants to do things right. I shouldn't even say right, I should say perfect, which means they can't be wrong. They don't want to make a mistake. They want to make sure that the thing they're doing is 100% concrete, fail proof, right? And me being someone who grew up being a perfectionist, I wouldn't say I was a perfectionist in everything, but I had perfectionist traits. When it came to school, I remember in elementary school, I always wanted to get 100% on everything. Even going into high school, there were certain times where, I wanted to be the best. I wanted to get 100% in the class. I wanted all the bonus marks. I wanted to be team captain of sports. When it came to presentations, I didn't want to make a mistake. And that carried over into, the things I did after school. When it came to my door-to-door sales job, I had to search up literally everything of how to do X, Y, Z. For example, what is the perfect script? When you knock on the door and say hello to someone, what is the perfect script? What facial expressions do I want to make? How long should the conversation be? Does it need to be different if it's sunny or raining? If they live in a big house or a small house, how should I talk to them? Like, I would literally overthink all these different things because I was so afraid to make a mistake. Carry that forward into my personal training stuff. I didn't want to make any mistakes. So I learned everything I could about personal training, not even just personal training itself and fitness, but how to build a clientele. I went from the absolute worst trainer in the company to one of the best in the company. It worked for me in the short term, meaning perfectionism, it helped me get good grades. It helped lead me to some short-term success, financially, with my job, socially. I had a lot of friends at work. I was regarded as, the go-to guy. But that's also the thing that led me to get super sick. And for a lot of people watching this right now, you're someone who's stuck, right? Maybe you're housebound or bedbound, or you're very limited in the activities that you could do. Well, you're afraid to make these mistakes because you want to do things the quote unquote right way. So you look for all these answers on YouTube or these programs, and you take a little bit from here, a little bit from there, and you're looking for what is going to work for you. And that's where it gets tricky, because there is no perfect one match fit. The concept of recovery it's a fluid concept. There is no black and white. It's a very gray area, because different things that work for person A won't work for person B. That's why it has to be a flexible approach. Now, can they be the same concepts and frameworks that apply to these two people's recovery? Absolutely, because there are recovery concepts and frameworks that are the kind of the foundation of recovery. But, different people are in different scenarios, so those approaches to recovery need to be interchanged, and they need to be tweaked based on the person's situation. And so when it comes to perfectionism, while that's something that has helped us temporarily, in the past it's probably helped us in some way. There's a famous quote from an awesome movie, Spider-Man, and it goes like,
"With great power comes great responsibility."
With great power comes great responsibility. Now, perfectionism can be good in certain scenarios. If you're an engineer, of course, you want to be perfect. Make sure the bridge doesn't collapse when there's hundreds of thousands of people driving on it every single day. If you're an artist, you want to be perfect, right? You want the music to sound great. You want the painting to be the best it can be. But when it comes to things like, being good at our job, or being regarded as, a great person in people's eyes, or things like recovering from CFS, perfectionism will keep us stuck because there is no right, solid answer to it. And that's the thing. There is no perfect way to recovery, so perfectionism will literally not work. You have to have a flexible approach. Oftentimes we get stuck in this analysis paralysis where we can either do something or not do something. This forces us to become very rigid in our approach. Like, we have to do this thing X amount of time every day. We have to do this thing every single day. And let me tell you what didn't work for me, because I'm someone who, I've been in the hole. I know what it's like to not be able to do anything, like literally not do anything and be stuck and not have anything working. So I know what it's like to be in your shoes right now. I don't know your exact scenario, but I know what it's like to be at rock bottom. And what didn't work for me was trying to do everything the right way, trying to be perfect in everything I did, trying to, do things the quote unquote right way. Really, there is no right way. If you internalize the concepts of recovery and the frameworks, then you create your own right way because you understand the foundation of what you need to do, of how your body works, how it responds. You understand the general direction that it's moving. And the main reason why there's no perfect approach to recovery is because it is unpredictable. Everybody's bodies react in a different way. If two people are just as sick as each other and they do the same activity, it's going to have a different effect on each person. One person might take a bit longer to recover. One person might feel more symptoms. It has to be a flexible approach. All I'm saying is, at the end of the day, get rid of the perfectionist mentality, because there is no perfect way to recover. You need to have a flexible approach. You need to be aware of how your body is doing. And for me, when I try to be perfect, when I try to write down how long I sat up every single day, like to the minute, when I recorded how many hours of music I listened to, how many cups of water I drank, how many times I sat up during the day, like I literally have it written down, I would never get better and I would just stay stuck, because now you start attributing everything to some kind of consequence. Like, I was scared that if I got up out of the bed and sat in a chair, that my body would crash. And lo and behold, when I tried to do that, it did happen. Now, I'm not saying go out there and try all these different things and start loading your body with all this stimulus. What I'm saying is, even just with your mindset, don't think that there's one perfect way that you have to do things, because when you think like that, then you start punishing yourself for not doing certain things or not doing certain things a certain way. So you almost live like you're walking on eggshells when you're trying to be perfect, especially in recovery. And I know what it's like, when you crack that eggshell, that's like symptoms right there. Then you start to get down on yourself and you start questioning the recovery. Then you start asking yourself, man, what did I do wrong this time? Oh man, what could I have done better? And it's okay to ask those things, but when we put too much weight on doing things the perfect way, we're pretty much set up to fail. So just keep that in mind. There is no perfect way to recover. Perfectionism is good in some areas. Like I said, if you're an engineer, if you're a doctor doing brain surgery, it's not good for recovery. So you need to let go of that mindset, at least temporarily. There will be times when you will need to be perfect. For me, like when I'm creating videos for clients and they're paying me lots of money, of course, I'm a perfectionist when it comes to that. Every single detail has to be on point. When it comes to recovery, it's a completely different story. You almost have to have that I like to call it that chill approach, right? Whatever happens, happens. You go along with the flow. You know how your body's feeling. As you're recovering, you're just kind of doing activities as you feel. For me, it's like, oh, I feel like going outside to go for a walk today. Okay, I'll go for a walk. Do I feel like staying in all day and hanging out on my couch and chilling out? Okay, then I'll do that. I'm not going to be angry about it. I'm not going to be sad that I didn't go for a walk today. I'm not going to be counting down the days to when I can go for another walk. I'm just going to live in the moment and just enjoy. So that's all I wanted to share today, some thoughts about perfectionism. If you are someone who's really struggling with that perfectionist mindset and trying to do every single thing perfectly, then I think this video is really going to help you out, just by sharing some of my experiences with it, why perfectionism didn't work for me, and what I did alternatively you can start applying this to your recovery. And I think it's really going to help in terms of just the mindset and just ease the pressure of trying to do everything right. So if you like this content, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe, make sure you turn on notifications right in the corner down here or down here. That way you'll get notified every time I release a new video. But I hope that helps. Throw a comment as well down below because I read all of them. Let me know, what are some beliefs that you have in your mind that you're just having a hard time getting rid of? And what are some perfectionist beliefs that you still carry on? You know, there's no right or wrong. I'm just curious to see what you guys are experiencing, and if, you know, if there's a common theme. And I just want to see where everybody is at when it comes to this topic. Remember, you are just one mind shift away from living a life without chronic pain and fatigue. See you guys in the next video.